Welcome back to Python MC. In this section, we are going to do input validation using while true and then a concept called try and except. We'll explain that. So first, we're going to import random. Random is just some pre-built code with some methods that will generate random numbers. So random.randint 1, 10 in parentheses. What that does is it generates a random integer between 1 and 10 and it assigns it to magic number. And then we tell the user that we're going to we've picked a number between 1 and 10. And then we go into what's called a while true loop. So what a while true loop is, it's simply saying while true equals true, which we could say while 1 equals 1, or it's simply an infinite loop that's just going to keep going and going and going until we break it. And so we're going to say guess equals int input guess the number. So what input does is it creates an input statement with that prompt guess the number. And then now we're going to convert that into an integer, into a number, because by default input captures a string. And then we're going to assign that to guess and compare guess to the magic number, to this random number that we generated on line 3. So we said if guess equals magic number, print you got it, and then break. So it'll keep going, this while true loop, until eventually the guess equals the magic numbers. But if it's too high, then we say it's too high. If it's too low, then we say print it's too low. And it's super simple. So then we call our function. And so what's going to happen here is this loop will just keep continuing because it's an infinite loop until guess equals magic number. And then once it does, it'll say you got it, and then it'll break. So let's hit play. Let's run the code and see what happens. So we guess the number, and try 1, and guess again, try 10, and we guess again, try 2, and then 5, and then 7. Then we scroll down, and 8 and 9. Okay, so you can see clearly it's going to keep on asking until we eventually guess the magic number. We guess this random number, and guess equals magic number. So that's what a while true loop does. It just continues until you give it the right condition. In this case, until we broke it, basically. So we hit that break statement on line 9. And if we didn't have that break statement, this would literally go on forever and effectively break our browser. So we say guess the number 7, and then what happens is 7 it gives you this funky error. It's called value error, and it says invalid literal for int with base 10. So what it's really saying is you didn't give me a number. I was expecting a number. So what we're going to do to handle that is use try and except. So same code as before with the while true loop, but instead we preface it by saying try this code, and if you get a value error, then say not a number, try again. So it's going to just simply try and go into that same loop, but if it hits that value error, in other words, if we type in like 7, it's just going to say not a number, try again, and then it doesn't break our code. So we type in 7, it says not a number, try again. Type in 10, the letter's 10. Not a number, try again. So instead of getting this ugly error that breaks the program, that ends the program, we can now handle that exception. So we handle this value error differently by just giving our own customized error message, and then we continue the while true loop. In this case, we continue to say, it happens that the random number happened to be 9 again, so it just went right through the loop again, and it eventually guess equaled magic number, so it stopped. So what do? We assigned a random number to magic number. We did this while true loop, and we kept on going until we got the guess equals magic number. Then we hit the break, and then we handled the value error. That's it. We'll see you again on Python MC.